What's up, everyone? My name is Kudus, a co-founder of Inframail. I'm here with Kirsty today, and I don't want to intro her, so you can intro yourself, Kirsty. Tell them who you are, what you do.
Hello. Thank you very, very much. I'm excited to be talking to the man, Caduce, because I've seen you do so many videos and now I'm talking to you, so it's nice. And I love the fact that you have created this software for us because we're loving it. So thank you for interviewing me.
Of course, of
So
course.
yeah, so you want to know what I do? Our agency is a paid media ads agency. So we help businesses to place ads on Google, on TikTok, on Facebook, all that stuff, any ads, but we do a lot more than just put ads on platforms because basically anyone could do that. And actually, you know what? Anyone can really get leads. Anyone can probably get obviously clicks and all that. I mean, these platforms want to take your money, so that's really not hard.
Yeah.
What we do is we make sure that every single part of the funnel that you're going to need to have a really successful ad campaign is working perfectly. And so that means that we create everything for you, the whole setup from start to finish. So we call it full funnel setup, but including like the emails, obviously, the follow-ups, all the creative, of course, even working in the beginning with you to make sure that you really know who you're going to be targeting in those ads. So you don't have to niche yourself per se, but with your targeting of your ads, you do. So we're going to help you to set up individual landing pages based on who you're trying to target.
Yeah.
And the whole thing makes it so much cheaper for you to advertise as well. So knowing what you're doing and not just kind of hoping or thinking that you're going to have a good result is what we do. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's an amazing explanation. We'll get into it, and you're also one of the most difficult niches of paid ads because everyone tries to run paid ads for people and do this end-to-end funnel thing, and it's very hard to get clients. We'll talk about how you get clients, what you do, but I guess what challenges were you facing, you'd say, for using Inframail? Just kind of to cover the Inframail stuff. What challenges were you facing before Inframail, like what outreach wise or anything like that? Was it not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as the sales director for the company, my role is really to find different methods of lead gen. And of course, you would maybe say, why don't you just do paid ads? But it's a super competitive, as you just mentioned, niche. It's a super hassleful as well, as far as using just pure and simple Google, pure and simple Meta, etc. So we use paid ads, but I just was like, I need to know how to do all outreach, and also because I wanted to learn it for our clients. So one of the things that I was like, I really want to try cold email because I just think it's so fun. And I love the fact that you can scale it and it's gonna just could go crazy if you wanted it to. Like it's literally I think it is a matter of how many leads can you handle, not are you going to get leads. Like I promise you I do. If it works for a cold an ad agency, because even my boss was a bit like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work because we don't offer a huge hook. We certainly don't do money back guarantee or anything like that because a lot of places will teach you that you have to do that in
Yeah.
order to get leads. Crap, like you don't have to. And I know that because we don't, and we
Yeah.
still get incredible leads pretty much every day from cold email.
Yeah, yeah. And the last time we spoke, I know you said you were booking at like, I think like 15 calls a month, which is yeah, more than enough really for like that kind of niche. But you also wanted more calls, which again, you said it's not a matter of like whether you're going to get leads, about how much you can handle, which is I think a great point. So just because I'm excited to get into the paid ad stuff, but what made you choose our platform over other ones, you'd say?
I have to say, honestly, it was not up to me. I actually work with another company who set us up. So they had researched you guys and they just recommended you because I think it was something that it was fast. It was relatively cheap to test.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I think, which was quite obviously, I think why they use your service
Yeah.
because it's quick to get going. It's not cumbersome. It's not hugely difficult to learn. And also, it is the price. You could make it cost effective to go, like, let's just test this is going to work. And then obviously
Yeah.
you can fix and refine and do whatever you like after that. But it's just a matter of kind of getting buy-in sometimes from your boss or whatever to go, okay, let's try it without the price tag of, 5,000 or whatever some of them charge you to
Yeah,
get,
exactly. That's
to
it.
try it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good point. Definitely affordable. I know someone else set it up for you, but I want to get into like the results. And I mean, we'll be transparent about who runs the campaigns or who set it up. It was Ollie. It was and Ollie's also another customer of ours right now. And you could say who he is as well. He's your son, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's my
but
great son.
yeah, yeah. So
Really into cold email. So actually, it was the full truth of the story. I work for this agency in London, and I've got a proper day job kind of thing. And I know my son was setting up a cold email agency. Well, actually, he wasn't. He was setting up another agency, and then he started to use your service to do cold email to get clients for his agency that when he first started it. And I'm like, I thought to myself, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just keep shut, keep your mouth shut. It's not going to, but I thought there's no way it's going to work. And then he's like, right, I've just got another meeting. I've just got another meeting. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was so funny. Like literally that was happening. And I'm like, how the heck are you doing this? And I can't believe it, And then I told my boss and she's like, okay, well, let's do it. Let's try cold email for us. And it's working literally the same. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's honestly like you said, the investment is so low for you to try something like this for the amount of leads and calls that you get. But yeah, tell everyone, Kirsty, like how many calls, how many leads, what kind of results do you get in general with cold email? And also specifically tell me about that whale client that you signed. I know you said you signed a huge client last call, and if you could say a little bit about that, go for it.
Okay. So far in 3 months,
Okay.
we have booked 22 really high quality calls. That's obviously not how many leads we've got, but that's just the actual calls booked. So I was like super happy with that.
Yeah.
Really good. And we've generated three like signed contracts client started so far from that. I worked out the revenue. I mean, we've made at least 20 times how much it cost us to get the email marketing get going, including paying Ollie to do it for us. We didn't do it for free. It's just so good. And like literally it does not slow up. Like it's not as though it was a fluke out of the gate or anything like that. It literally, and we do niche ourselves a little bit in some of the campaigns. And I thought, well, maybe it's just because we've done that really specific niche and our messaging was so on point and we really connected and they just liked the thing and it was a fluke. Like I always like, it must be a fluke, must be a fluke. And no, we're doing it now with a completely different niche, there's no connection because these people that we're targeting aren't, it's not as good a connection. We're still getting really good leads. Like I booked two today, like
Oh,
really good companies as well. Like, so,
yeah.
I mean, it boils down, there's quite a few elements, but one of the things I think that's quite crucial is just making sure that you're careful with the leads that you're using because what's the point of getting? It's a bit similar to paid ad. Yeah, you can get loads of booked calendar, meetings, but who cares? Who wants to be on loads if they're all wrong?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of making sure that you're sort of a bit disciplined and making sure that you know where to get your leads from, that they're good quality, that all of that stuff, and that they really who you're going after, and that your messaging is talking to that person. We can come to that later, but I mean, I really don't think it's not a fluke, but at the same time, it's not like rocket science, but it's also, there are definitely things that Ollie learned and implemented, which completely impacted the campaigns having the success that they're having. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. And I know you guys niche down and you also tried a different niche. We're successful with that. And you said what I remember, it was 900 emails a day you guys were sending. And we always preach volume. You got to preach volume. And I do that mostly because people they don't really know who to serve yet. So they have to send 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 emails a day. If you did that, it would be crazy. But and for these, for the people watching as well, 22 calls in 3 months might not seem like this huge thing, but also they're really, really top quality prospects. I mean, what's like the LTV, if you can say, of like these, these clients? Is it like multiple five figures?
So it's probably, oh, I mean, honestly, some of our clients obviously go on forever and ever, but I'd say you're probably looking at minimum 10,000 minimum. That
Yeah,
would be like a, bad sort of client in a way, or just someone that wants us just to get them set up and then we hand over. And then, obviously upwards and upwards and upwards of that. So, but 20 really good calls booked is good for me. Like we have a small agency. We don't, I mean, like I said, that's why I haven't actually scaled yet because
yeah,
I'm like, we don't have our system, which I don't need to go into, but it's quite a laborious system, like the calls and the bookings and everything. We haven't sort of outsourced a lot of that yet. So very much kind of we do the work.
yeah,
So because it's a small agency and there's only like 10 of us full time, and we've very much become the agency for our client. It's not sort of like a big agency where you get lost in it. So it's a lot of it is like we want to have that relationship with the new client from the beginning. So
yeah,
that means Amy, the founder, being on the call. So that's like you've only got so many hours in the week. So
yeah.
I don't actually have time to do more than those calls. If they're really top quality leads and I know that they're going to close, and that's all we really need. So,
Yeah,
but I believe we could scale that by 10.
yeah, for sure. I mean, absolutely. Like I think last call, I know you wanted to sign up for our high ticket done for you thing. And I basically just said, look, what you're doing is really good. You just need to pump up more volume, 2, 3x, 4x. I'd love to for you to get onboarded with us, but at the same time, like it doesn't seem reasonable to me to charge you guys because it's mostly for people that don't really get the results, but you are getting really good results, and it's just about 10xing that. So what strategy would you say specifically if you were to pinpoint it? Whatever you do, if you can reveal that to some degree, what strategy makes cold email work for you? Because a lot of people don't really see what we see in cold email. So what do you think is the strategy?
I definitely think like making sure that you know who you're going after, like being really specific to who you can help. Because don't forget, with cold email, like I do it, everybody does it, they're going to Google you or they're going to look at your website. So I think it's a matter of having like all your ducks in a row, like having if you just cold email, hoping, I mean, I can't prove this to be true, by the way, because I haven't done it any other way. But I believe that if it's me, I Google someone, if their website doesn't even turn up, like they're invisible. I'm like, all right,
Absolutely.
it's obviously some scammer or spam or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think being kind of making sure that you really look the part online when people are going to be looking for you, um, I think is very important, even if it's just a really good LinkedIn profile, so that people kind of know you're real and just have a website. I mean, it's costs you nothing to get a website nowadays. It looks good. And I think the messaging is important in the email, like making like literally people reply to me as though I actually wrote them that email,
Yeah.
like all the time. And some people say things like, I never reply to these emails, but I'm replying to you. Or, I'm wondering, is this just an AI thing? I'm not sure. But anyway, I want to reply to you because I just want it like, so the copy make it really compelling, but also not salesy. I mean, and also short. I think our email's pretty short. And also, of course, you have to offer them something that they reply to. Like, you can't just go, I mean, the amount of bad cold emails I get now that I read all the time just because I'm thinking it's, interesting. They just you read the whole email and you're like, what
Yeah.
are you even saying?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I mean, as far as like, because I know you keep your copy short, you want to niche down. So what would you say makes it compelling? Like, I guess, do you guys, have a strategy for that you can, I wouldn't say reveal, fully how you do it or whatever. I mean, not how you do it, because that still goes a lot of work, even if you did reveal that. But do you have any strategy that you want to?
I'm not worried about revealing it. I'm just trying to remember it because, to be honest, I didn't do that. That's what Ollie did for me. And
Yeah,
then we've just kind of followed the same format. And I know that the lady who runs them now for us internally, she does change some of the copy, but it's kind of along the same lines. However, there's always an offer. So, it's about hooks, it's about offers.
yeah.
So there's always some sort of offer. Like it's got to be something that makes them go, oh, yes, I want that. I will reply. Like,
Okay. So it's like first line being really, really good, hooking them in, being very relevant to the to the offer and what they do. And then they're just like, all right, like I'm in.
so we would say something, like basically that's why you have to niche, not as a business full stop if you don't want to, but you have to niche your marketing
Yeah,
because otherwise you're just not talking to anyone. So if your list is going out to a whole lot of founders of retail, e-commerce kind of sites,
yeah,
then you talk about that, as
absolutely.
a founder of it. Whatever, we would love to do a free ads audit to help you,
Mm.
work out if ads are going to work for you or something like that. So like nothing rock, honestly, nothing that fancy, but it's enough. Make sure that, somebody wants what you're trying to give them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge one. That's also what can actually tank your deliverability because if you send emails to people that don't want your stuff, you're just gonna get a bunch of no replies and then yeah, well, you're not gonna get any replies and then it ends up tanking the deliverability because they're like, "Oh, he's sending to emails with people that are not replying at all. That's not good." So it's a huge part of being successful as well, is like actually getting replies. What even if it's no's, at least it's relevant enough for someone to be like, "Nah, nah, but thanks for reaching out" type thing. That's actually
Yeah.
much more helpful than no reply.
So it's a good idea for you to find something that, like, if possible, that people have wanted before, because then you don't have to try and guess if they want it. And the other thing is like to really say it in a way that like what they want, like I actually had a bad example of this the other day, which I thought, right, that totally makes sense. This niche we were kind of mailed, which was a bit of a throwaway niche. I probably wouldn't bother again, but we thought we'd test them. And they're not educated in online marketing really, like not really. And so the offer that we gave her, the way we worded it, she wrote back saying, I've looked you up. I see you're real. I'm interested. She wrote, she wanted to talk to me because she thought it must be, she goes, but I don't understand what that thing is that you're offering me. Like she didn't understand what an ads audit was,
Yeah.
right? That is too jargonish, so just kind of keep it super simple, even if you put it into ChatGPT and say, make this so a 12-year-old gets it, in a way, because it's your jargon of your industry does not mean that they're going to get it. And I got this right from the beginning as well, when I was doing all different cold outreach, that you've got to be something, it's got to be massive what's in it for them,
Yeah.
because they don't care what you do, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. You want to keep the words simple. And I mean, if you were to I guess give the viewer advice, like the people that are doing cold email right now, just one advice that you're like, all right, out of all the things I said, if you ideally run with all of them, you'll be really successful. But let's say you just don't want to implement 90% of what you said. What's the one thing you should be like, all right, you should listen to this one. Listen to this.
If they're thinking of doing cold email,
Yeah, yeah. And within cold email specifically, how to be successful within that realm. The one thing.
honestly, I think one of the hugest things is looking real online, because I don't think you're going to get many leads if people Google you and you don't look real. I honestly do. I think that's a huge thing, like looking good. Not spend £10,000 on a website, but just looking legitimate, and that what you're offering is, what you do. And then obviously having a good offer that actually people want. I think,
Yeah.
to say two things.
So I would say, yeah, having a presence, number one, and then number two, having a good offer. Having a presence, I mean, because I think even if you had a good offer, if you don't have a presence and someone looks you up, like you said, you don't have a website, you don't have your LinkedIn on point, you don't have anything where they find you, then you don't even know if that offer is real. So it is actually pretty logical for you to set up everything, make sure that you have an online presence, just one that is professional and it's also aligned with what your offer is. You can't just have like a cold email offer in the email and then you have like some sort of paid ads offer on the LinkedIn, then that wouldn't make sense. They'd be like, maybe he's not an expert, right? But that's a huge one.
I think, yeah. So, and I guess just being real about the offer that you're offering, like that actually people want it, and put it in a way that makes sense to them.
Yeah.
So, like, I was thinking of this morning. There's a man, he does branding, and I'm like, he's constantly trying to sell to people branding. And I'm like, nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, I really, really think I need branding.
Yeah.
Like they might, but they don't want to pay for it. He needs to change it so that he's still giving them branding, but they think they're getting something else. I mean, I've learned this like 15 years ago, probably been around forever, that you give them what they think they want. You give them what they need, but it's what they think that they want is what you want to give them. So you just change the words basically. So it sounds like, oh yeah, I really want more leads. Okay, how do you want to get more leads? Do you want to get on the phone with your perfect customer every time and wait and stop buying a whole lot of Google leads that aren't your perfect customer. And really, they need to fix their branding on their landing page. But if he went out saying, I do landing pages, who's going to buy that? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's just talking about it in their language and just knowing that they're going to go, yeah, absolutely, I want you to do that for me. And like probably give something away for free as well. Like I know it seems a bit like, I mean, there's so many different schools of thought on that, but we do. We give away £1,000, at least £1,000 ad strategy and audit, which, it's a valuable thing, but we do it completely for free for anyone really that wants us to, because we know that most people don't want to have to implement, they'll just get us to do it for them.
Yeah, 100%. And people don't want to do free work. That's also why cold outreach sometimes doesn't work, is that they don't want to actually put in the work to do an audit or whatever it may be. But if you spend time on the 5 or 10 people a day that say yes, or even 2, 3 people a day that say yes and do the audits over the course of a month, let's say if you do two a day, that's 60 audits. You know what I mean? Like you're going to sign someone from that. That's a lot of value that you're providing to someone.
It's better to have 100% of, a little amount than, no, what is it? It's better to have 10% of a, and I forget the expression now, but basically, what's the point
Oh,
of having 100% of nothing? You know?
yes. Yes, yes. Or like 10% of a really big pie.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like just get on the phone with people. Just start talking. You'll refine your offer. You'll get to know what people really want and just, get good at doing the calls and stuff. And you can't really do that unless you're getting on the phone and you're getting the meetings in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I'll do one last question before we do the hot seat questions, right? Last question. So what is the most that you've collected from someone on a call, if you can say, using cold email? If you're not allowed to, I know you work under an agency, so if you're not allowed to, but you could keep it in the ballpark, like multiple five figures, because I know you said the minimum is 10K.
Okay, so from cold email, um, I would say one that we got recently will, I'd say, be a good 30 grand, if not more. And that's pounds, so it's probably like 50K US,
All
I'd
right.
say.
I appreciate you for that, Kirsty, because that's going to be the thumbnail, signing a $30,000 client from. That's gonna be the one that everyone clicks on. But we'll do the hot seat questions real quick. We'll just do a few of them. Instantly or smart lead?
Seeing as I don't know what Smart Lead is, instantly for sure. And you don't get kiddos with Smart Lead, I'm sure.
Exactly, exactly. Well, actually, you get us with both, but instantly is a good one. Okay, do you believe in soft call to actions or hard call to actions, like straight for the call or providing some value?
Value.
Okay, so soft call. Hot or cold? We'll just say weather.
Sorry, I'm going back on that one. Do you mean like value in the email or whatever? Is this about email?
Yeah, so if like for the call to action,
Oh,
would you push for a call like right away, which is a hard call
all
to
right. No, no, no. Okay, value. Yep.
value. Okay. And yeah, so hot or cold weather.
Hot.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
TV show or film?
Film.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
All right. Well, that's just a fun little hot seat that we do at the end. But yeah, thank you for joining us, Kirsty. It really means a lot that you did this. I know we talked like a couple weeks back. But yeah, for everyone, I'll put your links down in the description. Do you want to show anything, Kirsty? Like anything that people can find you? Maybe your LinkedIn or your Twitter or something like that?
Yeah, I don't have Twitter, I'm afraid. I don't actually have social media on my phone, full stop, because it's too distracting. But I've got LinkedIn. And my name's Kirsty, not Christy, in case you're looking for me. And my last name is actually Sleep, like
Okay.
go to bed. It's
Okay.
real. People think that's just a stupid name, but that actually is my name. But it's Quick Fox Labs. But yeah, yeah, just put it in. And of course, like we're happy to do an ad audit for anybody. And it's not a crappy ads audit, by the way. It's actually really quite a valuable document. So I think you would find it would be good. It would be useful.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you so much. You can look up Kirsty Sleep and you'll find everything there. So thank you guys for watching. See ya.